It took 4 years to build and $5.5 billion and sets a new standard. SoFi Stadium, Inglewood, California, the home of the Los Angeles Rams, who take the field on opening night. In town, the Chicago Bears and their game wrecker, Khalil Mack, all set to take on Matthew Stafford and the Rams on Sunday Night Football. Al Michaels, Chris Collinsworth, Michelle DeFoy. Well, Stafford was in Detroit for 12 seasons, wanted a change of scenery. The Rams were thrilled to give him that opportunity. Gave up a ton to get him. They think he'll be the man. They're also excited because they think the combination of Stafford and Sean McVay, the coach, is a match made in heaven. We'll find out. The Bears also have their quarterback of the future. He's a rookie, Justin Fields, and he'll start on the bench tonight. They go with the experienced veteran Andy Dalton. But before the night is done, we could see a little bit of Justin Fields. Chris, in this sound machine that is SoFi Stadium, this is the path the Bears have chosen. What's your perspective?
You know, both these teams have quarterbacks that they're really excited about it. Only one of them's going to start tonight, though. Andy Dalton is going to get the first shot at this thing. They think that his experience is going to help against this Rams defense that was #1 in the NFL a season ago. So that means Justin Fields going to be on a hot standby, and many, many Bears fans will be right there with him.
A lot of folks think that the Rams could wind up playing in the Super Bowl in this stadium in February with Stafford on board right now. What do you say?
We've been around the Rams facility quite a bit this week, and they're all walking around with a little grin on their face like they know some kind of secret or something. And I think that secret is Matthew Stafford. They're expecting fireworks out of him. They're expecting a Super Bowl run out of him. And they're expecting it all from a quarterback who is yet to play in a playoff game and win.
We're set for season 16 of Sunday Night Football. It's the Bears and the Rams coming up next on NBC.
Sunday Night Football is brought to you by the all-new Hyundai Tucson, our best Tucson ever, and by Untuck It, shirts designed to be worn untucked. Untuckit.com welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Sunny L.A. It all begins in this house. The Rams are back and opening up doors for reals to the new crib. They got a new ace now. Hey, if the ride's more fly, then you must buy. You dig? And this man.
Aaron Donald rips him to the turn.
It takes a dog to know a dog. So if you look in the yard and see him fighting a bear, my advice is help the bear. But these bears got a whole new look on O. And a Mack truck coming off the edge.
Khalil Mack doing it all.
So lay back and let's set it off. Sunday Night Football, baby.
This is for the G's and this is for the hustlers. This is for the hustlers.
Kickoff moments away at SoFi Stadium. Nothing like a transition from Snoop Dogg to down on the field, Michelle Tafoya. Michelle.
It takes a dog to know a dog, Al. Hey, you know what? The fans here are experiencing two big unveilings tonight. First, they finally get to experience a regular season game at SoFi Stadium. And second, they get their first look at Matthew Stafford, who did not play in the preseason. Now, Sean McVay believes Stafford could be the missing piece that propels this team to another Super Bowl. Not only does Stafford have an elite arm, McVay says he has the experience and football intellect that often get overshadowed by his athletic talent. So here we are in Southern California, where real estate is at a premium. Who carries the bigger mortgage? Owner Stan Kroenke and this over $5 billion stadium? Or McVay and GM Les Snead, who gave up Jared Goff and 3 draft picks, including 2 first-rounders, to get Stafford? We know this building will host Super Bowl 56 in February. We don't know if the Rams will be there, Alan.
So many great storylines. He's made a career out of one phrase. Here is Michael Buffer.
This is the moment we've all been waiting for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world. Rams fans, let's get ready to rumble!
Rams won the toss. They have deferred. Matt Gay will kick off. Chicago will get the ball to start the game. Khalil Herbert, a rookie out of Virginia Tech, their 6th-round pick, is back to receive it. And he's going to come out from 8 yards deep. His first play ever in the National Football League. Gambles from 8 yards back and turns out to be a great run back. All the way out almost to midfield. So infrequently will you see a guy that deep come back with it as Dalton comes out. The Bear offense.
Andy Dalton, TCU.
David Montgomery, Iowa State.
Allen Robinson, Penn State. Marquise Goodwin, Texas.
Darnell Mooney, Tulane.
Cole Kmet, Notre Dame.
Jason Peters, University of Arkansas.
Cody Whitehair, Kansas State.
Sam Mustipher, Notre Dame.
James Daniels, Warren G. Harding High School.
Jermaine Ifedi, Texas A&M.
New guys on that offensive line. Will they hold up? One of the big questions for Chicago this year. They start with a pass up to the 47-yard line. That is Darnell Mooney making the catch, tackled by Kenny Young. Andy Dalton, 9 years in Cincinnati, then last year in Dallas. And you take a look at his numbers through the year. That pass rating a little lower than the league average. David Montgomery is now the running back on 2nd down and 6. Nice hole for a guy who gained over 1,000 yards rushing last season. Inside the 30, the 20, and finally forced out of bounds by Kenny Young. So what a start for the Bears. Big run back, short pass, and then a gallop of 41 yards by Montgomery.
Yeah, just an inside zone play that's going to come all the way back. The key is what happens on the backside of this play. Nice block by Jermaine Ifedi on the backside of it to lock it out, and there goes Montgomery. There's James Daniel in at the right guard position, and we'll keep our eye on Aaron Donald all night long. Got just enough of him on that one.
Took him totally out of the play. You got Goodwin now in motion. That's Damian Williams, the former Kansas City Chief, sat out last year with COVID concerns. Tackled there by Donald. That'll make it 2nd down and 10. Matt Nagy, the coach of the Bears, now in his 4th season. And Fields has come into the game, so we thought we might see a little bit of him. And here he comes in just a couple of plays into the game.
Yeah, down in the red zone, so now maybe you see some read option, some run possibility stuff.
He's got both Montgomery and Williams flanking him in the backfield. Now Williams goes in motion, and Fields' his first play as a Bear is a complete pass, a little short of the 1st down. Goodwin gets tackled, ball comes out, but the play is over. Jalen Ramsey with the coverage on the play. So it'll be 3rd down and 2 after a gain of 8.
Very impressive that time by young Justin Fields. Had pressure coming right in his face by Aaron Donald. Stood right in there and delivered a strike.
3rd down, 1.5 yards. So Fields out after that debut. Dalton back in under center. Montgomery, and he's going to get stuffed, but it may have been whistled dead. It was flagged down at the line of scrimmage.
Ball start. Offense, number 85. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
Tight end Cole Kmet.
Al, one thing we know already from our opening on camera is it's loud in here. It's tough when these teams get down around the red zone, and Kmet that time backs them up 5. Hey, this is an impressive start so far for Andy Dalton. All we've been talking about are the other 2 quarterbacks. So far, Andy Dalton comes in and is taking them right down the field.
Can they cash in? 3rd down and 6 from the 8, and now timeout is called by the Bears. That gives us a chance to take a look at the Rams defense.
Ashawn Robinson, Alabama.
Sebastian Joseph Day, Rutgers.
Aaron Donald, Pitt.
Justin Hollins, Oregon.
Troy Reeder, Delaware.
Kenny Young, UCLA.
Leonard Floyd, Georgia.
Darius Williams, UAB.
Jordan Fuller, The Ohio State University.
Taylor Rapp, Washington.
Jalen Ramsey, RPT.
Bears taking a timeout just 3 minutes into the game. Sort of reminds me of when Nagy's first game as you look at Sean McVay. Opening night in his career against the Packers, and down the field they went at Lambeau on a brilliant drive for a touchdown. 3rd down and 6 here.
Bears always have a few tricks up their sleeves down here as well.
Go empty here. Dalton protected well, fires, tipped, and it's going to be picked off in the end zone. David Long Jr. comes down with it. So that promising opening drive for Chicago ends with an interception. Tipped by Kenny Young. He's all over the place on this drive. And the Rams will have it when we come back. Kroenke bought into the Rams in the late 90s and then bought the entire team after the death of Georgia Frontiere. This was his dream. And this stadium, of course, is it's off the charts.
Off the charts.
From the 20-yard line, Stafford's first play as a Ram is a handoff here to Henderson, tackled by Roquan Smith, and we go back to the long pick.
Yeah, let's watch Kenny Young on this one. He is going to get a tight end in here, react here, and still have enough to get back and get a hand on that ball and set up the interception by David Long.
Long's first ever pick. And Stafford going 5 wide on 2nd and 4. His first pass over the middle, and that's caught for a first down. Goes to the tight end Tyler Higbee. So 12 years in Detroit. That rating close to the league average. Of course, in Detroit, he never had a cast like this. Certainly on defense. Their defense through the years was so bad, basically, that team was giving up so many points, and Stafford was oftentimes coming from behind. Of course, got to the playoffs 3 times in those 12 years, 0-3. Rolling left after the fake. He's going to air it out. Deep downfield. Has a man open, and it's caught at the 15-yard line by Van Jefferson. And he gets up and rumbles to the end zone. Matthew Stafford with a bomb. He's got the great arm. We know that. And then Jefferson makes the catch, rolls over, doesn't get touched, and takes it in.
There were questions. Could Matthew Stafford play on the run, play this bootleg game? He comes rolling out, and check out the arm. When he goes back the other way, a rocket, and we were told to expect fireworks out of this offense early and often. There you go.
What a flip of the script. The Bears, the big run back, the long run by Montgomery. Looks like they're going in. The Rams get it on the pick. Look at Aaron Donald. Oh, yeah. You know, that guy from Detroit, he's pretty good.
They were all smiling. Bad play by the Bears on the back end there. All they had to do was touch him down, and you come back out. Maybe you can do what the Rams defense did at the other end.
Eddie Jackson and Tashawn Gibson ran by him. Matt Gay now for the extra point. And the Rams 4 minutes and 24 seconds into their first game with fans at SoFi. Stafford all the way for the touchdown. 7-0. Coach on The Voice with Blake Kelly and John. The Voice blind auditions with Ariana Grande begin Mondays and Tuesdays this fall on NBC. As we look up the coast on a gorgeous day in Southern California. Temperature in the 80s. Inside now at SoFi with a canopied roof, allowing the sun in this late afternoon. Rams on top 7-0. Here's Herbert by that big run back and gets spun down as he reaches the 24-yard line by Jake Funk, and we go back to the TD.
Obviously a huge moment for Matthew Stafford coming out and not only proving, yes, indeed, he can do this stretch bootleg type of play, but the first question from the press conference is going to be, did you call bank on this one? No touch there by either defender, which would have put the ball down at the 12. But Van Jefferson lets it go off his face mask, falls into his hands, And Ramsey and everybody on the defense went crazy. Said, yeah, Stafford's been doing that to us all camp too.
Good run here. This is Montgomery again. Who on that opening drive had the 41-yard run. This is good for 13 and a first down.
Yeah, Montgomery's really picking up right where he left off a season ago. He was red hot at the end of the season, and they won 3 out of 4. So they're hoping to get back to some basics here. But so far, it's pretty easy to see what they're trying to do. They want to run the football, and when they do throw it, quick releases, get it out of their hands. Don't let Donald have a chance to get there.
Yeah, big number 99. Always in the backfield. This time they ride him out of the play, and the catch is made here by Allen Robinson. Gets taken down after a small gain. Darius Williams makes the tackle, pickup of 5 as Nagy sends in the play. 2nd and 5. New defensive coordinator Raheem Morris for the Rams. So Brandon Staley was here 1 year. He did such a great job the Chargers hired him, and he won today in his debut at Washington. 2nd and 5. Quick throw over the middle, and that's caught, and into Rams territory goes Cole Kmet. They've got 3 good tight ends in Jimmy Graham, Jesse James, and this guy, and they think he's a budding star.
Here's Matt Nagy. He is trying to do the right thing, right? He was out in Kansas City with Patrick Mahomes. He watched him sit behind Alex Smith for a whole year. He knows what he has, and Justin Fields. Justin Fields is going to be the quarterback. They're just trying to get him ready for that moment because these regular season games are different.
Dalton throws into traffic, and that is almost picked that time. Robinson, the intended receiver, Long was right there along the way the interception. 2nd down and 10.
You've got a couple of war horses out there, and Aaron Donald and Jason Peters on the left side. We have 2 39-year-old left tackles, and that is a large man in Jason Peters that just got knocked to his backside with 1 hit.
Peters in his 18th season. Last 11 years as an Eagle, before that with the Buffalo Bills. Inside handoff here into a lot of traffic. Montgomery stopped at the 44. The Rams last year, we talked about Staley getting the Charger job. One of the reasons was last season the Rams were number 1 in points per game allowed, 18.5. Number 1 in yards per game allowed. So Wade Phillips had been here. They bring in Staley. He gets the head job with the Chargers, and now Raheem Morris, who was the interim coach in Atlanta last year, is the DC.
And they're going to put Aaron Donald out over Jason Peters one more time on the defensive right side.
Dalton flips it. That's caught. This is Damian Williams, and he gets tackled at the 41-yard line. He's tripped there by Taylor Rapp. The safety is 4th down.
It's 4th down, but are they going to go for this one? They might. I think they've seen quite enough of this Rams offense already, and Matt Nagy understands this is going to be a shootout or nothing. He's confident with what they've got going on the offensive side, and really some of those short, quick throws have been there.
So 4th down and 4.
Cole Kmet, their big tight end, is somebody they're really excited about. Number 85, flanked all the way at the bottom.
4 outside receivers. And Dalton will fire, and that'll be incomplete. Ramsey breaks it up, intended for Robinson, the 2 former teammates back with the Jaguars a few years ago. And the Rams will get the ball at their own 41-yard line when we come back. Well, what's a new stadium without a DJ? DJ Molsky's the man. Getting the crowd revved up. Yeah, we appreciate that. Waiting all day for Sunday night. Well, it's here. And the Rams making the most of it early, 7-0. They start from the 41. Here goes Stafford on a roll to his right side. Sidearms it complete, but from no gain. Cooper Kupp makes the catch. Here's the Rams offense.
Matthew Stafford, Georgia.
Darrell Henderson, Memphis.
Cooper Kupp,
Ewu.
Robert Woods, USC.
Deshaun Jackson, Long Beach Poly High School.
Tyler Higbee, Western Kentucky.
Andrew Whitworth, LSU.
David Edwards, Wisconsin.
Brian Allen, Hinsdale Central High School.
Austin Corbett, Nevada.
Rob Havenstein, Wisconsin.
And as you met the Rams on offense, a pass to Deshaun Jackson. Yep, still in the league, 14th year. And that's good for 18 yards and a first down.
And we've seen so much from the Rams receivers over the years with those tight formations and the way they can go all the way across and impact the other side of the field. Now you add that speed element with Deshaun Jackson, and it really opens up so many more things. They also drafted Tutu Atwell, another Blazer.
Rams had gone no huddle on that last play. Well, little busted play here. Stafford was going to pitch it. And a gain of 1.5. Let's check out the Bears defense.
Akeem Hicks, Sacramento City College.
Bilal Nichols, Delaware.
Khalil Mack, University at Buffalo.
Alec Ogletree, God's Kingdom.
Roquan Smith, University of Georgia.
Robert Quinn, Oakbrook Elementary.
Jalen Johnson, Central High School.
Tashawn Gibson, University of Wyoming.
Eddie Jackson, Alabama.
Kendall Vildor, Georgia Southern.
Marquis Christian, Midwestern State.
One of the big questions for the Bears this year among several. Can that secondary hold up? 2nd down and 9. Pass is caught. This is Cooper Kupp. It's knocked down as he makes the grab there by Christian and by Johnson. 3rd down and 5.
The last time these two teams got together a season ago, you almost never saw Khalil Mack being attacked at all. Rob Havenstein over there has got the duty of trying to slow down the great superstar. But a season ago, it was sort of comical. If they ran left. If they bootlegged out to left. Whatever they did, it was to get away from number 52.
Perfect start to Stafford's ran career. 5 of 5 for 97. Now a 3rd and 5. Good protection going deep downfield, and that's incomplete. That time it's Van Jefferson. Covered very tightly by Jalen Johnson. It's 4th down and 5. And in comes Matt Gay to attempt a field goal.
Akeem Hicks is one of the guys they're really excited about on this Bears defensive line. He's in a contract year. See him split right between the center and the guard and get some of that pressure on the inside. And if Akeem Hicks can get back to where he has been in the past, and we have seen him plenty of times on Sunday Night Football, just could make Khalil Mack so much better.
53-yard attempt. Johnny Hecker to hold it. Matt Gay to boot it. And the kick is good. Matt Gay 1 for 1 on the season. 4.5 to go in the opening quarter at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood. 10-0 Rams. Before the game, a couple of Olympians recognized. Dalilah Muhammad, track and field 2-time gold medalist. Kaylee Gilchrist, water polo, 2-time Olympic gold medalist. And also summer and winter Paralympic star Oksana Masters already won 10 total medals. Expected to contend for more in Beijing this winter. Meanwhile, the Olympics will be held here 2028. Several events in this stadium. Touchback.
You know, it's so much fun talking with Matthew Stafford. He's so excited to be here with the Rams. And he said one of the great things I get to do is I get to play against our defense, the #1 defense. And he said, I have 2 Madden 99 guys to play against every single day. How can you not get better? And it really is true. Of course, the Madden 99 club is the best of the best as considered by the video game and Coach Madden. So those are 2 of the guys that get that top grade. And Matthew Stafford thinks it makes him better.
Donald's been here since he was drafted in 14. They traded for Ramsey a couple of years ago. 2 megastars. This is Damian Williams. He who had that great Super Bowl performance 2 years ago with Kansas City. Ramsey is there to stop him. That's a loss of 3. 2nd down and 13.
You know, so many times when you watch this Rams defense on film, you go, it doesn't look so hard. It really doesn't. They have a lot of people in the background. They have a lot of people playing sort of a shell coverage, but then they close like Jalen Ramsey does. And you think you've got a crackback block. You think a guard is going to take him out in Whitehair. And there he is right in the middle of the action. So they have brought him down much closer to the line of scrimmage and are not playing him out wide very much anymore.
Ball at the star position, 2nd and 13, and that's caught up at the 30-yard line and turning around and picking up the first time with the flag coming in. Marquise Goodwin, who was in the Olympics long jumping in London back in 2012, former 49er. That's for the moment a gain of 19. Brad Allen will make a second call.
Personal foul, grasping the face mask, number 22, defense. 15-yard penalty at the end of the play. Automatic first down.
And that's long. Meanwhile, here comes Fields. He comes back in the game. Was in for one play on the opening drive. Completed a pass for 9 yards.
Well, there's an old saying, something like, if you can't block them, read them. And one of the things that Justin Fields can do very well is leave somebody on the end of the line of scrimmage unblocked and let him read that player. And if he dives out towards the running back, Fields can run.
It's Mooney in motion, and he flips it back to Goodwin. And the sprinter can't get around the corner. Ramsey runs him right into the Rams bench. That didn't work. It's 2nd down and 12.
Well, here's the reason they're doing this with Jalen Ramsey. They want to get him in the action. When he was out wide playing cornerback, there just wasn't that much action because teams would throw away from him. Now you bring him down into that star position that Al talked about, and now he can take care of people with his physical presence as well.
2nd down and 12. Bears have run twice as many plays, but the Rams have a 10-0 lead. Dalton back out of the gun quickly, and look at that as Mooney gets blown up. And who else? It's so funny, as you say, Chris, they're moving around, and he loves it. Let's go to Michelle.
Yeah, that's exactly what he told me, Al. He loves playing all over the field. He hopes that'll prevent teams from shying away from him. He told me in the past I actually struggled with being bored on the outside. I could get lured to sleep and get lazy with my technique. This defense challenges me to stay engaged the entire game, be better for myself and my teammates, and make more plays. He said it's the most fun he's ever had in his career.
Michelle reminds me of, Deion Sanders used to get bored because nobody would throw it his way. 3rd down and 14. Little shoulder shake. Now to the outside. Nice pass. About 3 yards shy of the first down, though. Demir Bird spent last season with New England. Makes the grab there. But they needed 14 and picked up about 10.
It was interesting. They came over to Ramsey's side to take a look because Darnell Mooney had beaten Ramsey on some double moves in their game a season ago. Did not work that time, but at least so far, Andy Dalton's had plenty of time in the pocket.
So, yeah, they're going to go for it again here on 4th down. Didn't work the last time. Line of scrimmage is the 38. Montgomery is the back. Dalton under pressure. Ball comes out. Is it a fumble or not? It won't matter really because it's 4th down, and it was going to be a turnover anyway. Justin Hollins came around the corner, and the Rams get the ball back.
I think the fear is starting to come true that this offensive line that did not play very much together is struggling. Jason Peters wasn't sure if he's supposed to take the inside guy or he was supposed to take Hollins around the outside, gave Hollins a free run, and Andy Dalton paid the price for it. I don't think there's any question that ball was out, do you?
Didn't matter one way or another. Once it dropped to the ground, it's confirmed as for the official scoring on the play. But it was 4th down, and the Rams were going to get it on downs if nothing else. Darrell Henderson is now the running back. On this set from 41-yard line. Play action. Higbee, the tight end, with blocking into Bears territory. It takes a couple of guys for a ride down to the 41-yard line as we took down to a minute to play in the opening frame. That Bear defense now run by Sean Desai. He takes over. He's been with the Bear organization for a while. There were 9 guys who were interviewed when Chuck Pagano decided to retire, and Desai gets the job. A teacher at heart, has a number of degrees. Parents born in India. And ascends to the DC roll against this Ram machine. On the move again. And taking it for a gain of a couple is Henderson. And that could take us to the end of the quarter. So SoFi Stadium, you know, it's still light outside. It's a canopied roof here. Translucent. A lot of light on the field. There it is. They're going to play the Super Bowl here. And the first half of that game should be played on February 13th in sunlight. 2nd and 8, and they come to the line, and that's the end of the quarter. 10-0 Los Angeles. Sunday Night Football continues after these messages. Looking past the Hollywood sign over the hilltop to the San Fernando Valley, and that shot. Al Michaels, Chris Collinsworth, Michelle DeFoya, Virginia Hallis McCaskey, 97 years old, making the trek in here. Owner of the Chicago Bears.
Wonder if she's thinking about Justin Fields.
She has some company. 2nd down and 8 as we start the second quarter from the 39-yard line. And the ball is handed off to Robert Woods, the wide receiver who lined up in the backfield, and he seeks the first down and is close to it. Takes the handoff here on the first play of the second quarter. And picks up 7 yards. They're going to spot it a little short of the first. 3rd and inches. Henderson, he's going to get stuffed. That time it's Alec Ogletree, the one-time Ram. First pick, in fact, by the Rams when they were back in St. Louis in 2013. So now it's 4th down and 2. McVay, as good as he's been offensively, has not had success in his career on 4th down. They're down toward the bottom of the league, but let's see what he's dialed up here on the 4th and a long yard.
Well, you tend to think they're not going right. Some of the power on this team because of Khalil Mack over there.
Henderson flanking him, trying to draw the Bears offside, and now you've got a timeout taken by the Rams.
Charge timeout. Los Angeles, they're first. Will be 30 seconds.
Matthew Stafford. So he was the #1 overall pick back in 2009. Played in Georgia. He grew up in Texas. Picked by Detroit. 4,000 yards or more in 8 of his 12 seasons in Detroit. But he's 8-65 against teams that wound up with a winning record at the end of the season. And 24.7 points per game allowed by the Lions in his start. It's second highest for a quarterback with one game. In other words, I mean, he was not being helped, as his wife Kelly looks on, by that defense. And they never really had a running game in Detroit. I mean, they did have Calvin Johnson, but problems after problems. And then he loved Detroit, but he finally had to go into ownership and go, you know what? I need to change the scenery.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to tell you something you don't want to hear.
Yeah, right, is what he said to them. 4th and 1 after the timeout. Play action. Looking, throwing. Caught. First down. Van Jefferson, who had the long touchdown grab. So they're able to roll him out. Jefferson has enough time to get free. Off they go to the 20.
Yeah, it's a big conversion, no doubt about it. But for Matthew Stafford on some of these bootleg plays, he really needs to put more pressure on the defense by attacking straight down as if he's going to run the football, because then people start to drop coverage. You can see him just sort of drift out to the right. He's not a natural runner. He hasn't done a lot of this bootleg stuff, but that's one of the things they've been working hard with him. Attack it just a little bit more.
7 for his first 8. In the pocket, fires, caught, and breaking a tackle. Henderson all the way inside the 5-yard line. Got away, takes it down to a 1st and goal.
And of course, their big play running back, Cam Akers, is hurt towards Achilles, going to be out for the rest of the season. Darrell Henderson steps in. And one of the things they really like about him, he's a big, powerful back, but very soft hands. He can work his way in with the running game as well. They've got Sony Michel, but he hasn't been in camp very long. Prefer to stay with Henderson.
See a little bit of Michel, the ex-New England Patriot. at some point tonight. First down and goal now from the 2-yard line. To the outside, Henderson, and he can't pick up a yard. Jalen Johnson is the first guy to hit him right there. It'll be second down and goal with 12.5 left in the half.
Alec Ogletree, the other linebacker opposite Roquan Smith here. Here's Ogletree right here, coming up and just reading the back and making the play one-on-one right there in the hole. Now you have to keep an eye on sort of best friends, because Cooper Kupp, number 10, has been in that slot position. Those guys watch film every single morning together with Matthew Stafford, see if they can get one to pay off.
He's in the inside slot. You got Henderson in motion. Stafford lofting one and incomplete. Kupp the closest to it, but really nobody home when it's third down and goal.
Yeah. A lot of traffic in there. The Bears just trying to sit right on that goal line. So when you're making your breaks, you just sort of run into each other. They stayed straight man-to-man, not that match coverage down there on the goal line. I'm sure the Rams would like to establish a little run game in the red zone, but not here.
Third and goal. Stafford dancing in the pocket and then fires incomplete. Intended there for Robert Woods, so the Bears are able to stiffen at this point, down already 10-0, and make the Rams settle for a field goal attempt.
Good pressure that time by Khalil Mack coming around the edge. Now what they need is somebody to get some pressure on the inside. So if Mack's going to make Matthew Stafford step up like that, those inside rushers have to finish that sack.
Matt Gay, former Tampa Bay Buck, made a 53-yarder earlier. This one 22. Easy pickings. 11:39 remaining in the opening half, and the Rams are on top at home, 13-7. Kelly Stafford is in the yellow. There she is with a 9 on it. You know, we go at warp speed here. When Matthew looks at the tape of this game and he goes, well, that's not my wife. We had somebody else on beforehand. Close.
Yeah, well, they have photographic memories. They have an advantage over
now we're talking.
Yeah.
4 young kids, loving Southern California.
Amazing story. We'll get into it later, but you talk about a family that has perspective now after some of the things they've been in.
Touchback. Put me in, coach. I'm ready to play. Take a look at this. Active first-round quarterbacks drafted before this year, 29. And only 3 of them played 5 or fewer games in their rookie season to start. Mahomes started 1 time. Rodgers 0 because of Favre. Love 0 because of Aaron Rodgers. Love did get in today as the Packers got routed by New Orleans. There's Justin Fields awaiting his turn. As Dalton starts this drive with Montgomery. That's interesting. What we know about Mahomes, who studied under Alex Smith. Rodgers, of course, couldn't get in for 3 years because of Brett Favre, and had Love in there. So this is a little bit of what's going on with Chicago right now.
And the bottom line is they have to do whatever they think is in the best interest of Justin Fields. They might have one of those Patrick Mahomes kind of quarterbacks. We don't know. We don't know exactly what he's going to be. But if you watch him at all in college, you know he is a phenomenal talent. Now, mentally, can you get him caught up to the speed of real NFL football, not what he was seeing during the preseason?
Dalton fires complete. That should be a first down. That's Darnell Mooney, the second-year man out of Tulane. Fans, of course, want Field. You know, in Chicago, you know the story through the years. I mean, you know, Jim McMahon led him to a Super Bowl. You go all the way back to Sid Luckman, still holds some records. Then Jay Cutler comes in. He's going to be the guy. Then they draft Trubisky. He's going to be the guy. That wasn't to be the case. And now they hope the promised land is in the hands of that man.
Yeah, but here's the fear that there's Nick Foles, and of course, Super Bowl hero. The fear is you don't want him to pick up on bad habits. I'll pick up on that in just a second.
Dalton to the outside. That's about a 7 or 8 yard gain. Marquise Goodwin tackled there by David Long. And it'll be second down and short. Go ahead.
So many young quarterbacks, when they don't know what they're seeing out there and they don't know what real defenses look like in the NFL, what do? They take off and run. And certainly that's a viable option for Justin Fields. He's a phenomenal guy. He runs 4.4, and yes, he can run. What you want him to do is learn how to dump the ball off. This is a 17-game season now. You do not want your star quarterback and hopefully your franchise quarterback running all that much for that long a season. So as he learns what to do in the passing game, how to check it down, how to get it out of his hand, and Andy Dalton's a perfect guy to study doing that, he is going to get better and better, and then he can always run in those key 3rd and 4th down situations, goal line, whatever. They are just trying to take their time, do not only what's in the best interest of Justin Fields, but do what's in the best interest of the Chicago Bears franchise that has been waiting forever for potentially a guy like that to come along.
Meanwhile, Montgomery's just ran for a first down with 9 minutes to go in the half. Now Damian Williams is in the game. And he will scoot, pick up about 5. Second down and 5. Fields has shown a lot of maturity too, because he knows that the crowd wants him, the fans want him. But Andy was getting booed by the fans. He said the fans are awesome. Also have to realize Andy's a human being, kind of disrespectful. Them cheering my name out like that, cheer him on. That's not helping Andy play better. My advice to them: just cheer whoever's on the field.
And remember, when they got Andy Dalton, they had no idea they were going to be able to get one of those quarterbacks in the draft this year. They were down in the 20s with their draft position. It really just fell perfectly for them.
Traded up with the New York Giants, who are not in the market for a quarterback, as Demir Bird picks up a couple here. It'll be 3rd down and 2.
It was interesting talking to Raheem Morris, the defensive coordinator of the Rams, and I said, are you nervous having to go out and defend the #1 defense and all that goes with it? They were so good a season ago. He said, when you have players, you don't get nervous. You just let those guys go play. So far, Jalen Ramsey's had 2.5 tackles for losses, so he has put him in position to attack, and you can see that Ramsey just loves it.
Goodwin, the man in motion. Pass is broken up. Incomplete. Allen Robinson looks around and he wants a flag.
I thought that was way early.
Long was there, no flag, and it's 4th down.
Let's take a look. When does this hit take place? I thought the hit was before the ball got there, so no question.
Meanwhile, they lined up. They thought about going for it. They've gone for it twice on 4th down and failed both times. So now Nagy's going to send in the punt group. Punter is Patrick O'Donnell. Cooper Kupp is back to receive for the Rams inside the 15-yard line. Nose down punt. Kupp makes the fair catch at the 11-yard line. And a look on this early Sunday night at the Griffith Observatory. 13-0, LA.
8 defensive players in all the game right now. Khalil Mack and Aaron Donald, and how dominant have they been at the same time? Look at these numbers. Total pressures, 1, 2 sacks. Donald first. Mack over there 7th. Forced fumbles. Just right at the top of the list. And it was interesting talking to Sean McVay about the whole thing. They were so concerned about where Khalil Mack was going to line up. They thought he was going to be all over the field, but really so far he's just basically been in that same spot.
Start from the 11-yard line. Nice tackle there. Higbee could not get out of the grasp of Gibson. It'll be 2nd down and 9.
Well, maybe they're going to try and play a few games right now with Khalil Mack. There's Andy Dalton over on the bench, and the hope was that that offense was going to explode here in the first half of this game. It is not. But they did that time with Khalil Mack use a little stunt to bring him back inside. So maybe a few more games, try and get a few hits on Matthew Stafford.
2nd and 9. They ride Mack out of the play for the moment, but everybody else gets there. And he gets sacked back at the 2-yard line, and that's Akeem Hicks, the first guy in there.
So many times you bring pressure so that one of your stars can get a one-on-one rush. This time Akeem Hicks is going to be able to go one-on-one inside and ultimately get the pressure and get the sack. So now the Chicago Bears defense starting to apply a little pressure as well, bringing Raquan Smith on the blitz right there. And so this punt, if they can hold up right here, an opportunity now for the Bears to get some points on the board.
And get decent field position. It's 3rd down and 18, and that play clock has expired.
Play game. Offense. Half the distance to the goal. Remains 3rd down.
Well, that only cost him about a yard and a half or so.
That was bizarre. I don't know exactly what the delay was there.
Well, they got sacked, and it took a while for them to get back up and undiscombobulated.
This is a tough punt from the 1-yard line, though. You'd like to at least get a couple yards here.
3rd and 19. Trying to get a couple, and Will Woods and Smith is going to take him down. Bear hug him down to the ground. And the ball's out to the 9-yard line, giving Johnny Hekker some space to punt.
Man, did you see Roquan Smith flying out of there? Watch him just rip over here in this direction. Now he's in open space with one of the best athletes around on this Rams team, and no issues whatsoever.
Johnny Hekker, 10 years in the league, was undrafted. He has been tremendous through most of his career, especially against the Bears in last year's game when he kept pinning them time after time. 43-yard line. This is Webster. One-time Ram. Brings it back to about the 46. So at least the Bears have decent field position. Look inside SoFi Stadium in Inglewood. 13-0.
Tasha
and the U.S. team reclaim the trophy on American turf. The Ryder Cup, September 24th through 26th on NBC Golf and Peacock. So many unique features in this stadium. You've got the roof, but it's also open on the side, so you've got the breeze coming in from the Pacific just a couple of miles away. Natural air conditioning, and you're protected from the elements. That roof only cost about another $1 billion. But what's $1 billion? 5.5, right?
Sooner or later, you're talking about real money, right?
Exactly. From the 45-yard line, Dalton, pressure. That's Komet, the tight end. Nice play there as he picks up close to a first down. To the 45-yard line, it is a first.
Cole Kmet with 28 catches a season ago, but 20 of those came in the final 5 games, and they think that he is the most complete player at tight end that they've had in a while. Of course, Jimmy Graham out there, very good in the red zone, but Kmet is the one they're really hoping takes that big step this year.
A little over 4 minutes to halftime. Nice run again. So Montgomery last year was 5th in the league in yards from scrimmage. He can catch the ball as well. Had over 1,000 rushing and off to a great start tonight. 71 yards on the ground.
Kind of like what Cody Whitehair does here. He's just going to sit and figure out what Aaron Donald's going to do and then almost block him late. Let Donald go ahead and get up the field and get just enough of a push on him to create that running lane. So good patience that time by Cody Whitehair, because trying to figure out where Aaron Donald's going to go is tough.
Back-to-back 10-yard gains. First down at the Ram 35-yard line. No, sir. Well, and it turns into a nice little gain. Sebastian Joseph Day had him in the backfield, but he's able to escape and turn it into a gain of 3.
Sebastian Joseph Day just had him right in his sights, but David Montgomery refused to go down. We saw that quite a bit, not so much his rookie year, but then in years after that, in last year, what you saw was a guy that just refused to go down, and that was his trademark coming out of college.
Went to school at Iowa State, picked in the 3rd round in 19. Dalton throws, that's caught, and that's Allen Robinson playing on the franchise tag this year, making about 17 mil. Tackled there by Darius Williams, 1st down.
That time, Jason Peters just saved Andy Dalton. Watch him jump out late here. They're going to have a blitz coming off the edge. Peters sees it late and whacks Taylor Rapp, and if he doesn't, Dalton was going to be the one taking the whack.
Bears trying to take advantage of that good field position after pinning the Rams deep. Montgomery to the 21, and that should take us down to the 2-minute warning. And indeed it does. 2 minutes to halftime. 13-0, Los Angeles.
And Drew Brees will analyze what happened with the Saints and their dominant performance. He and Tony Dungy join me at halftime. I'll see you there.
Yeah, Mike, I can't wait to hear what Drew has to say. Meanwhile, how about Corey Seager and Justin Turner of the world champion Dodgers? They're in attendance here. Each played today, each hit a home run. Dodgers beat San Diego at Dodger Stadium 8-0. And you're up to date on Sports Talk. Here's Dalton, 2-minute warning. 2nd and 7. Robinson picks up the 1st down, takes it to the 12-yard line, and Robinson is now caught 3 for 22 yards.
Yeah, and that's going to be what you have to do with the Rams. The Rams are very much an umbrella coverage. They're going to protect the deep plays, and they're going to allow some of those throws that are quick and over the middle. You know, really a lot of this game for me comes down to the fact that Gibson and Jackson didn't touchdown Van Jefferson, because really the Bears defense has been doing the job here since all that happened.
Only touchdown of the game, Stafford off Jefferson's face mask, and he caught it untouched, went into the end zone. Nothing there. Montgomery gets taken back very, very quickly by Justin Collins. And we will, with the timeout, be back in 30 seconds.
There's a new team in the NFL.
One that plays for home. Everyone's home.
Whether you're a rookie or a seasoned pro,
this team has your back. We can help you tackle any project.
We're the Lowe's home team, and anyone can be on it.
Are you in?
Try out for the Lowe's home team today.
Bears will try to punch it in after that timeout. Larry Bormy, rookie out of Missouri, is not going to be the left tackle because Jason Peters went to the sideline. So a rookie picked in the 5th round. Meanwhile, Peters, the 39-year-old left tackle, just went into the medical tent. So baptism by fire here for the rookie on 2nd down and 10 from the 12-yard line. Bunch receivers to the left. Dalton looking that way. Slips away. He's going to run it. Andy Dalton dives and comes close. Darius Williams will make the stop, but he's a little bit short of the 1st down. Under a minute now.
Well, there you go, Justin Fields. He's got to be proud of Andy Dalton. He's out there running around and trying to make plays as well. You know, in some ways, you almost feel sorry for Andy Dalton because you know the whole world's kind of waiting on the next guy, but he's out there fighting hard and trying to keep his team in the game.
3rd and 1, gives it to Montgomery, and Montgomery is in for the touchdown. So the Bears, who look to be maybe on the cusp of getting blown out early, are very much back in the game. They'll take another look right now.
It's some run. Anytime you can break a tackle by Aaron Donald, score a touchdown, that's impressive.
Reaches out.
I don't think his knees were down because they were on top of one of the Rams players. Watch Aaron Donald here get a clean tackle opportunity, and Montgomery, as we talked about, just bored right through him.
Confirmed. Cairo Santos will try to add a 7th point, which he does. So the Chicago Bears with a half a minute to go in the half. David Montgomery, big night so far, 80 yards on the ground. It's 13-7. Caesars Sportsbook, your app is ready, Emperor. And hold on, ladies and gentlemen, we'll do the billboards right after the kick. Just rehearsing. Here we go. Now we can let you know Sunday Night Football being brought to you by Caesars Sportsbook. Your app is ready, Emperor. And by Pepsi Zero Sugar. Zero sugar, zero compromise. Rams have been helping out off the field too. Youth football team. That's the Watts Rams. Tune in tomorrow on the Today Show for their inspirational story in our series Once in a Lifetime.
I like that you had to call me Emperor twice.
Comma, Emperor. Meanwhile, the Rams are going to take a knee and go to the locker room in a game that started out totally in their favor. It looked like, could be a rout. Instead, it's a 6-point differential. There's Peters, who went to the medical tent, the 39-year-old left tackle. Taking a look at him.
Well, you take away that interception in the end zone, and who knows who's in front on this game.
For sure. As we reach the break, 13-7. Halftime Toyota. Halftime next. Here's Mike Tirico.
All right, Al, Chris, thank you. Bears hanging in it. Coming up, we'll talk about some of the big games on Sunday 1. Aaron Rodgers and the Packers blowout loss. We'll hear from the reigning MVP. Plus, Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs came back to beat the Browns. All that with Drew Brees and Tony Dungy on the Toyota Halftime.
Want to stay up to date?
Opening night, the Bears and the Rams on NBC. Dalton fires, tipped and picked off in the end zone. He's going to air it out deep downfield. Van Jefferson, and he gets up and rumbles to the end zone.
There you go.
Chevrolet, find new roads.
Bears getting a touchdown toward the end of the first half to turn it into a 6-point game. 13-7. Andy Dalton tonight, very efficient, 13 of 17 for 96 yards. Nice run to keep that last drive going. Matthew Stafford started with that touchdown pass early, 151 through the air. David Montgomery, the first Bears player to rush for a touchdown in 6 straight regular season games since Walter Payton in 76 scored in his last 5 games last year, and Jefferson with that 67-yard touchdown reception. Al Michaels with Chris Collinsworth. Michelle DeFoya under the canopied roof, the translucent canopied roof at SoFi. Full house. First time they've had fans for a regular season game in here. Opened up the stadium last year with the Dallas Cowboys on Sunday night with a crowd of nothing.
Yeah, a little different feeling here tonight, isn't it?
Slightly.
Yeah. Well, Aaron Donald out there trying to get his hands around David Montgomery. Everybody seems to be trying to get David Montgomery down to the ground. Matthew Stafford had that big explosive play to start things off. But the Bears, despite the fact that it looked like they were just going to kind of fade to black on us here after that start, have slugged their way back into this game. And it's really just that tip ball interception that has been the difference.
And the failure to make that tackle on the Jefferson touchdown. Meanwhile, Rams get it to start the second half, and they will start at the 25-yard line, and we will start with Michelle.
And Sean McVay hopes they start with some rhythm. He said, we've only had 20 offensive plays on 4 drives. We just haven't had a chance to get into our rhythm. Our defense is playing well, but we need more downs to find our rhythm. And Matt Nagy told me last night, he told his team it would be important to handle this loud environment here. He thinks they handled it well when they held the Rams to 2 field goals. He thinks that was a sign of a recovery after that first touchdown. But he acknowledged the offense needs to be better on 3rd down. They're 1 of 5. He said that can't stand.
Well, Michelle, that one was that touchdown. It's the only 3rd down conversion of the game for either team. Rams at the 25-yard line, and that's knocked down at the line of scrimmage right there. That's Jalen Johnson, the corner, coming in to bat it down 2nd and 10.
good read there by Stafford. Saw the cornerback coming off the edge, but man, almost threw it right in his hands. That had a chance, boy. We've seen a couple of plays like that happen, and close.
Stafford, of course, knows the Bears well, being in the NFC North. 21st start for him against Chicago. On the ground, nothing there at all. Henderson tackled back of the line of scrimmage. Bilal Nichols is the first guy in there. Smith as well, and they'll make it 3rd down and 10. The Rams tonight 0 for 4 on 3rd down.
Well, that time they had Khalil Mack down in a 4-point stance and had him loop all the way around, so they're starting to motion him and get him in play more.
Stafford stepping up in the pocket, fires, and that'll be caught at the 44-yard line. He finds Robert Woods, makes the grab. Vildort makes the tackle there, so they convert on a 3rd and 10 for 19.
Rob Havenstein having to take care of Khalil Mack on this one. They start him from inside and loop him around. Nice job there. And now the Rams starting to pick up the pace a little bit. And you saw that dig route. That's what Stafford does so well.
No huddle here. Stafford again is going to air it out. Deep downfield, wide open. A flag is down. That's Cooper Kupp. There's a flag down to the 35-yard line. The Bears already signaling it's against the Rams. That would have been a 56-yard touchdown. Brad Allen is the referee.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense number 96. The result of the play, the touchdown. That penalty will be enforced on the succeeding kickoff.
That's Akeem Hicks who gets in there, knocks Stafford to the ground, and a second bomb. This one good for 56 yards to Cooper Kupp.
Well, a completely blown coverage. Obviously, you had Eddie Jackson in a 2-deep look on one side and Gibson on the other side, and they just let him split the defense. Matthew Stafford looked back and couldn't believe what he saw. A layup to his buddy Cooper Kupp.
And that's the foul on Akeem Hicks as Matt Gay comes in for the extra point out of the Hecker hold. Pretty much the way the Rams started it in the first half. They started in the second half. 108 into the second half. 20-7. Tuesday, otherwise known as September the 28th. Brand new show on NBC. It's called La Brea. From the pond outside SoFi. Dick Butkus is in the house tonight. The whole team.
He's got the look of a lot of Bears fans right now. Like, what was that?
Yeah.
We're known for defense in Chicago, and it has been 2 huge breakdowns that have knocked the Bears out of a great position in this game. Otherwise, they're hanging in.
And the penalty means the kick comes from the 50. So there's going to be a run back here for Herbert to open the game with a nice run back. And this time he's taken out of bounds at about the 20. And we go to Michelle.
Well, Jason Peters is questionable with a quad injury. You'll see him here. When he came up after this play, he was indicating his right leg was bothering him. Now, remember, he was fishing on a lake in Dallas, catching crappies when he got a call from Juan Castillo to come play. And that was very late into camp. And so he said he was only about 85% when he got here.
He's going to be going fishing again. Gone fishing. Larry Bourne is the replacement for him, and that's caught on the outside of the 25-yard line. Caught by Darnell Mooney, the speedy second-year man out of Tulane. Long makes the tackle, gain of 6.
You know, Al, we have to keep in mind, too, that the Bears did not keep their 2 tackles from a season ago, Charles Leno and Bobby Massey, and then they had injury issues with Tevin Jenkins, the second-round draft pick, and when he had to undergo surgery, they ended up in a real hole and had to go get Jason Peters off of that lake.
Jenkins with back surgery. Smuggled after a gain of 1 by Kenny Young.
Well, if I'm giving an MVP to the player on the Bears so far, it's pretty easy. David Montgomery has just been tremendous. And I'm talking about not only breaking tackles of little guys, but he's broken tackles from big guys. There's Sebastian Joseph Day, and then Aaron Donald had a shot at him, and he ran right through for the touchdown. So the running has been what they've been doing well, but it's hard to stay with it when you're this far behind. They need something explosive.
81 yards on the ground, 41 on one play. Dalton to the outside, and that's going to be grabbed by Robinson. Darius Williams makes the tackle there, moves the sticks, first down at the 33.
Yeah, anytime you're going to leave Allen Robinson one-on-one on the outside against anybody. Darius Williams had a nice year last year, but this is one of the few times they got the Rams down in some kind of man coverage. The Rams are really frustrating to try and throw the ball against because they're so soft in their coverage on the back end. You can sort of see this, you know, where do you throw it? You almost have to throw it underneath.
Find that open spot. Here goes Montgomery again. Nice scamper to the 39. Tackle by Kenny Young. You know, the Rams defense too, Chris, you know, minus John Johnson, salary cap situation there. Troy Hill gone. So they've had to kind of revamp that back end.
Yeah, but you know what they do here at the Rams is they basically beg you to run the ball. I was watching the playoff game with the Packers last year, and it was just, I couldn't believe how light some of the boxes were. You almost forced Aaron Rodgers and the Packers to run the football because they had so many people playing the pass.
Play action. Dalton steps up, slips it to Montgomery. Nice inside move to pick up a lot of yardage down to the 50-yard line where Troy Reeder finally tracks him down.
So no team starts with two deep safeties more than the Rams do. They're just back here, and then all of a sudden they'll come down. There's Jordan Fuller, who really has taken over for John Johnson. He is a second-year captain. How about that? 2 years a captain at Ohio State, and now number 4. Very rare to see a safety as a signal caller, but that's what he is in just his second year, and boy, they love him here.
Dalton, look out, chase, and just slings that one away. Chased by Lawler. We're talking about Jordan Fuller. You know, Fuller, he shares something in common with Tom Brady.
Yeah.
199th selection in the draft.
Is that right?
Yes, there he is, right there.
Well, he's only 7 trophies away from accomplishing the same thing. Who knows?
A few MVP awards, right? A few commercials. Second and 10.
High right, Al, high right. Hey, no, go R, go R, go R.
Slip to the outside again, and staying in bounds as long as he can is Damian Williams, and that's Fuller making the tackle there. Bears have been in Rams territory tonight on all of their drives, all 6 of them. Third down, and let's call it 2.
The whole goal is to try and break the patience of this Rams defense. In the game they played a season ago, they had 3 or 4 opportunities to make big plays, and on several of those occasions their safety John Johnson broke up the play, but they need to keep something rolling here.
Raheem Morris, defensive coordinator. Nagy gave up play calling in the second half last year, has it back this season, and that's into traffic and complete to the 40-yard line to Kmet, the tight end. So the Bears on the move, picking it up in short little chunks.
It's really a nice job that time by Kmet. He's going to come out and not like what he sees, so he's going to stop and back up and just give Dalton somewhere to throw the football. Somebody down on the back end.
So an injured Ram here might be David Long, who had the interception early in the game with 9.5 to go in the third. Back after this. I don't know if we're ready for our close-up or not, but here we are anyway. In the infinity board, the screen that circles the field, it's two-sided. You can see it from the inside if that's where you're seated, or in the upper deck on the outside. It's fantastic.
I've never heard such a non-reaction as when they introduced you And not me.
Unbelievable.
Al Michaels and the entire Sunday Night Football team. There you go.
Right.
You know you're home in L.A.
There you go. Cool about everything here. Montgomery with the carry there. The scoreboards, you go back through, that's the way the scoreboards would look in the 30s and 40s and 50s. That one in Cleveland. That's the Coliseum in Los Angeles. And through the years, Arrowhead. And then you go to AT&T Stadium, and that's Atlanta with the halo up top. And then there's this, which is the state of the art right now. 2nd down and 6. And that pass is caught at the 30-yard line, and that's Marquise Goodwin to the 26. And a first down for Chicago.
Well, one of the things that the Bears sort of quietly did this offseason is add a lot of speed. I mean, like world-class speed. Marquise Goodwin certainly one of them. Demir Byrd. There have been so many guys added to this football team. Rashad Perriman not suited up just yet, just coming over. But they really, like the Rams in some way, trying to add a little pop to this offense. Unfortunately, the Rams don't often allow pops.
And we saw David Long go to the locker room. They're going to check him out. The corner through the middle. Good hit made on Montgomery after a short pickup as we reach just about the halfway mark of the 3rd quarter.
Now this is what I think that the Bears could get away with a little bit more, and that's just trying to take it right at some of these guys on the double team blocks. Just come off and see what you can do. Montgomery's already breaking a lot of tackles out here. Just let your big guys come slug them out, punch them in the mouth, and see if you can push them backwards, and maybe he breaks one tackle and you get your big play in the run game instead of the passing game.
2nd and 6, 12th play of the drive here. Inside handoff, and that's Damian Williams, and he's going to move the sticks here for a first down. So this drive started back at the 19. They've run a dozen plays. They're averaging a little over 5 yards per play, and that is Montgomery. And Fields comes into the game, so they work on Montgomery. Ton of stuff happening. Rams minus Long. They've got Rochelle in at corner. Now they're looking at Montgomery. You got Damian Williams in the game, and Fields is in the game.
Yeah, some of those read option looks where the quarterback could run, if it wasn't Andy Dalton, might have an opportunity here.
First down from the 16-yard line. A little shovel pass that doesn't fool anybody. Robinson is there after the play action, and it's 2nd down, and Dalton will come back in.
This is the old college play, right? He's just going to put it in the belly of Mooney and ride it and see which one he wants to do, and now take the pitch back inside, but nothing there. Rams running a lot of that stuff too.
Meanwhile, you got Borum just got hurt. There he is. And he is down. So he's the guy taking Peter's spot.
Honestly, it's their worst nightmare as far as this football team is concerned. They were so thin at tackle, and now 2 of them down already.
And Elijah Wilkinson will be the guy who's going to have to come in. Another tackle. Simmons is inactive tonight. So you got Peters out. You got his backup. Now will be out at least for one play anyway.
Well, the good thing about it is you're just coming off of preseason. So all of these guys have probably played more football recently than the starters have.
There's Borum 75.
So many times for offensive linemen, that's when you get hurt.
Sure.
You know, you're blocking and then something happens behind you and they fall into the back of your knees. It happens to receivers blocking down the field and piles land on the back. I mean, there's just nothing you can do.
There's Justin Hollins, who came in from the backside.
I don't think I've seen many games where I haven't talked about Aaron Donald for the majority of the game. And we've had games where that seems like all we talked about.
I think they did a great job on him. We did a Sunday night game in 18 in Chicago, and they did a great job on Donald that night.
Yep.
So Chicago's they're not his kryptonite, but they give him some extra problems. 2nd down and 9 now.
I bet they wish we hadn't just said that.
Yeah, right. Damian Williams. And he goes nowhere. Floyd and Gaines make the stop. A little shoving going on after the play. It's going to be 3rd down and 8 now from the 14-yard line.
Well, here you go. This is your Andy Dalton moment right here. This is when you need the quarterback. No more option plays. He's probably not going to be able to run. This is when somebody needs to make a play, and their best player is Allen Robinson. Allen Robinson is the guy that can make a contested catch, even if he's covered. Sometimes you just have to give him a chance.
He's in a 3-man bunch off to the right, and now Andy Dalton's going to take a timeout. Back after this from AWS in 30 seconds.
According to AWS Next Gen Stats, Lockett had a 25.9% chance to catch that. What a play!
AWS, you can stat that.
King's right, 2 wide banana, alert diamonds. Stat that.
Stat this.
Stop that! How is that even possible?
Chicago taking a timeout. Their first of the half. 13-point Ram lead. This drive has consumed 8 minutes and 44 seconds already. 14 plays, 67 yards.
Well, you've got your 2 real playmakers down in the red zone on the field now. Jimmy Graham had 19 targets a season ago. Allen Robinson had 19 targets. Next closest, David Montgomery with 10. And Jimmy Graham is flanked out wide. If they leave him one-on-one, they likely go there.
He's a monster in the red zone, and they're going to go to the left side, and he's going to make the catch at the 2-yard line, right on top of it, Chris. Ramsey is there, but that will move the chains, and he refuses to go down. So Graham used to play in New Orleans and Seattle and in Green Bay last year. Now with Chicago.
Has to be a little bizarre for Jalen Ramsey. Usually he is the bigger and stronger player no matter who he's playing against, but not so against the pilot, Jimmy Graham. That was a huge first down for the Bears. Bears just keep kind of hanging in there, don't they?
Absolutely. Look at this. I mean, this drive is 9.5 minutes.
If they just had not fouled up a couple of big plays in this game.
Meanwhile, Fields in the game with the play clock was right down to 0. Here goes Fields. Can he get in? Yes, he can. So the Bears on a drive that consumes almost 2/3 of a quarter punch it in.
So you're basically going to read this guy right there. And you also had a lead blocker in front. Who was the tight end coming across there? That was fantastic.
Holtz.
J.P. Holtz not only secured the first guy, the read guy, he got the second one as well. And when that tank started coming downhill, Justin Fields was not going to be stopped.
Santos down the middle. Bears 3 for 3 on 3rd down on that drive. It's a 6-point game with 4:14 left in the 3rd. Back to 88, there was a trade. Kirk Gibson signed with the Dodgers. After 9 seasons in Detroit, he hit that dramatic, unbelievable home run in the World Series in 88. He thought he was probably gone for the series. Comes off the bench. Meanwhile, 11 months later, you got Stafford. Will he be here in February, on the 13th of February, for the Super Bowl, and do what Gibson did? You traded from Detroit to Los Angeles. Kirk actually was a free agent at that point, and he also won the MVP award in the regular season in '88.
Somebody will say, I can't believe what I just saw.
That's what Jack Buck said on radio. Vince Scully on television said, in the year of the improbable, the impossible has happened when Gibson hit the home run. Meanwhile, you know, it's 13 years now in the league. Stafford with probably his best supporting cast. Who knows?
Yeah, and I think he's just starting to understand this offense. I mean, you can see does he really understand how to play the bootleg game? Not really, not yet. He's not turning the corner and attacking the defense with some of it. But those big post throws that he's making, that's the difference in the game. The Rams have 2 big plays, and that's what they talked about with us. Can we hit the explosives in this game? So far, the answer is yes.
I'm trying to get something started on the ground with Henderson, gain of 5.
All right, let's take a look at our next-gen stats powered by AWS. And there we go. There's our guys. As soon as I say post routes, they're just going to throw it right up there. There's one for a touchdown. Of course, the safeties on the back end refused to touch him down, so they gave up the touchdown. And then the other one to Cooper Kupp and the blown coverage. And it was really just opportunities.
Kupp can't handle that one, covered by Christian, so it's 3rd and 5. So Fields, you saw him, his first NFL carry is a touchdown. His first NFL pass was a 9-yard gain. That Ram defense was on the field forever, and the Rams right now in jeopardy of maybe going 3 and out quickly, which is the last thing that defense is going to need.
They're showing some pressure here. Stafford making a check, bringing his running back up right into the A gap. Then the Bears fall out.
And then he hits Higbee, who he had moved over to the left side, enough for a first down. If nothing else, it gives that defense some rest here.
Sure does. So they bring pressure in the A gap. So he brings his running back right down. Now all the linemen are going to slide that way. Havenstein has to make the block on the backside, and Stafford has to get the ball out of his hands. A lot of stuff has to happen when you show that kind of pressure.
Play action. Wide open. Higbee, the tight end. Long gain. Threw it over Roquan Smith. Tyler Higbee. 38-yard gain.
Just proof positive once again that go with play action even if your running game isn't working that well. Play action here sucks up the linebackers just enough, and they get up over the top, and here goes Stafford again. They just have to make a stop now. The Chicago Bears defense, they've been pretty good down here in the red zone. They've just given up the plays over the top.
To the outside quickly. This is Deshaun Jackson, tackled by Eddie Jackson. So, you know, you make a great point, Chris. Even though there's no running game, you got to respect the play action. The Rams have run the ball tonight 9 times for 17 yards.
Yeah, and anytime Deshaun Jackson's on the field, I don't care how old he is, you kind of get that tick, tick, tick feeling going.
2nd and 10. Kupp. Can't quite get to the first down marker, but a yard shy on 3rd down. 3rd and 1.
I've heard so many people talk about Cooper Kupp and how much he understands about the quarterback position and how people play it. There's some of the numbers here tonight for Matthew Stafford, and already you can see why they were all smiling and talking about. Even the defensive guys used to cheer in practice when Stafford would make a big play against them.
3rd down and 1. They go no huddle here, and that pass is caught, and that's Kupp. Cooper Kupp spinning, reaching. Does he get in? The officials come in to take a look at it. Touchdown.
Every morning, Matthew Stafford and Cooper Kupp get to the facility 2 hours before anybody else does. They have breakfast together, and they talk about plays like this. Watch Cooper Kupp not only just make the catch to begin with a great move. Watch the spin move. Set him up, get it out, stretch it out. There you go. Was the knee down? Yes, sir. They're going to call that one back.
Yeah, reviewing, it looks like he's a little bit short.
After reviewing the play, the runner is down at the half-yard line on the left hash. It will be first down from that spot. First down. Inside
the 1-yard line, so that would have been Kupp's 2nd touchdown of the night. Instead, 1st and goal with 1:40 to go in the quarter. This drive began back at their own 25.
And Cooper Kupp and Matthew Stafford are hating life right now. They take their touchdown off the board by half a yard. And Cooper's getting back in the huddle and goes, you know, we could do that again.
You think? You know, we have those 2-hour breakfasts. We have a few plays, you know.
Not that I would ever do that in the huddle to a quarterback.
Of course not.
No.
Henderson is the running back. Henderson, and he will get into the end zone. From 1 yard out. Less than 3 minutes to go 75 yards. Just 2 runs, 6 passes. And the Rams are up 26-14.
Good support by Brian Allen, but watch Austin Corbett here get this reach block over here and really seal the deal. Once you get all the way on the far side of that nose tackle, there's almost no way to stop him from there. This is a Bears offensive line that is coming together, especially that interior 3 with Edwards, Allen, and Corbett.
Matt Gay with the extra point. 27-14. It was halftime. We're in Hollywood. One Republic entertaining the crowd.
2 defensive rock stars tonight in the building, and so far, not a lot of rocking. No sacks by Khalil Mack or Aaron Donald. No quarterback hits. A couple of hurries by Donald, but that is it. So the game plan, obviously, to stop those 2. And then it's been left to others to make the plays tonight.
Who would have believed Mack, 5th pick in the 2014 draft. Donald, number 13, as the ball is returned from the 2-yard line. And that's Herbert up to the 22. Sunday Night Football being brought to you by the all-new Hyundai Tucson, our best Tucson ever, and by DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Well, the Super Bowl will be here. There it was in January of '67. Vince Lombardi winning it. Green Bay over Kansas City and Hank Stram at the Coliseum. 30,000 empty seats. Won't be any empties here next February the 13th. Andy Dalton will take it out of the shotgun to start this drive. Over the middle. Caught on the run. Williams. And he gets tripped up at the 25-yard line by Rochelle. 2nd down.
Al, it's just bizarre for me to watch defenses the way they play today. But they have essentially just invite you to run. Look at the closest defender that is a linebacker. So they have 4 or 5 across the front. They're basically saying, please, Chicago, run the ball. Go ahead. We don't care.
2nd and 5. Dalton throwing. That's caught by Williams. And a flag is down as the, for the moment, former Kansas City Chief takes it out to the 39. But a flag down back at the line of scrimmage. Brad Allen's had a fairly quiet night, and only 2 penalties assessed against each team.
Illegal use of the hands to the face, number 99, defense. The penalty is declined. Result of the play, 1st down.
The fastest way to take an offensive lineman backwards is to put your hands on the other guy's throat or helmet. And that time is exactly what Aaron Donald did. Good piece of officiating right there. Unfair advantage. And I tell you, Andy Dalton is getting this ball out so fast. In the first half, it was under 2.1 second. The fastest quarterback in the league last year was 2.2, and that was Roethlisberger. Give you some idea of the pace.
He may be a placeholder, but he's having a good night. That pass is deflected and incomplete. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, it's sort of interesting, the game plan, isn't it? I mean, you get the veteran guy out there, and you're able to do it, but they're picking some spots here for Justin Fields. And the nice thing about that is a lot of times the backup quarterback is the one who gets no snaps in practice. They would bring in the 3rd-string quarterback to run the scout team, but not the Bears. They have Justin Fields doing the scout team, so at least he is taking snaps, and then they do a lot more after practice.
You like that idea. I do too. Montgomery, and he's going to take us to the end of the quarter by getting it out to about the 46-yard line, a little shy of the 1st down. 27-14 Rams, end of 3. Sunday Night Football resumes after these messages. SoFi Stadium, Inglewood, California. Al Michaels, Chris Collinsworth, Michelle DeFoyer. Our 16th season of Sunday Night Football on NBC. Look at that. Time of possession, 2-1. Bears staying in the game by keeping the ball. Justin Fields starts the fourth quarter here on a 3rd down and 2. So he's been in and out tonight, and he gives the ball to the running back, Montgomery, who somehow is able to work his way. Montgomery has now run tonight for over 100 yards, 108 to be precise. The Rams last season did not allow a single back to gain 100 yards.
Yeah, but they are basically just daring the Bears to run the ball, and they've been averaging 5.3 yards per carry. But this was fantastic. I mean, it really was. Montgomery is just really fighting all night tonight for every blade of grass or whatever that stuff is out there. Stupid saying. I gotta stop saying that.
Blade of turf. And that's caught for a 9-yard pickup here by Darnell Mooney. Bears are now 7 for 7. And getting into Rams, they've been across the 50 on all 7 drives into Rams territory. But here they are still down by 13 despite controlling the time of possession. Their running game's been great, 127 on the ground. The Rams 18 yards on the ground.
That's exactly right. But if they're just going to keep lining up like this, I mean, you have effectively 5 people, maybe 6 down in that box, but generally that means you're going to go run the football.
5.5 on that play. 2nd down. Dalton escapes, packs it in, has a 1st down. It was Donald who came in, and then Andy Dalton in his 11th season is able to pick up a big 1st down. The Bears tonight have 21 1st downs. The Rams have 12.
Aaron Donald almost had him. Almost got a hand on him. Just couldn't bring him down. And Randy Dalton, a couple of big runs so far in this ball game. You got to know Aaron Donald, the kind of competitor he is, the way that he works, and he works nonstop. It's killing him that he hasn't gotten his hands on one of these quarterbacks.
He gets it away. Wide open is the tight end, Kmet. And Kmet fighting his way with Ramsey hitting him first, but forward progress is going to be very close to a 1st down.
Now, this is exactly the type of throw that the Bears need to see from Justin Fields if they're ever going to get him in here. We saw in preseason on several occasions that the first guy would pop open quickly, and yet he would hold the ball. He held the ball longer than any quarterback during the course of preseason. Andy Dalton, on the other hand, gets that thing out.
2nd and inches. Williams breaks a tackle, gets the 1st down before he's forced out of bounds at the 25-yard line.
So I think some blend of what Justin Fields is seeing out of Andy Dalton tonight is going to sink in, right? He's going to learn. When they go back and watch this tape now, he is going to learn, like, oh, wow, I didn't know you had to throw it in 2 seconds. At Ohio State, I never had to do anything like that. So he'll just put that in the memory bank. It'll be part of the growth. But tonight, he's been able to watch, and he'll be able to grow this week while still participating in the game and coming up with big plays.
Bravo!
Dalton, look out. Donald can't get him down, but he gets the assist on that as Hollins comes in to take him to the turf. Aaron Donald gets the assist, and Hollins gets the goal.
One thing about Aaron Donald is he's in such phenomenal shape that he can go for 4 quarters. Not all pass rushers can. And you can see he's going to extend those arms up and then the old push-pull and then pull him back. And he is just, he can't believe he didn't get a sack on that one either. But he did set up his partner. And that's the reason everybody loves playing with Aaron Donald, because when he's doing that, some of those mop-up sacks just come along.
That's a 15-yard sack. And that pass is incomplete and nearly deflected and picked. And Young thinks he got it. Intended for Cole Kmet. Incomplete 3rd down. 3rd and 25.
Well, you certainly want to put something on the board here at this point. And for the Rams, they're going to be perfectly content to make sure you don't accidentally pick up a first down. So you could probably get the 10 yards to try the field goal here, and the Rams will be happy to give it to them. Unless Aaron Donald has something to say about it.
And lining up over the third string left tackle is Donald. And the pass, it's Komet. Going to pick up some decent yardage. He's fighting for even more, getting it to the 30. And putting Santos in much better position if they want to go that way. But right now they're leaving the offense out on the field on a 4th down.
You could cut it to 10.
Yeah, you could
4th and 15.
Yeah.
Are you gonna? Is this a hard count kind of situation here?
Well, they got to get into a 1-possession game at this point. 10 minutes to go. Let's see if they run the play, and they do. And Dalton's going to throw, and that's going to be knocked away at the end of the 18-yard line by Robert Rochelle. Rams hold, get it back, lead by 13. Next Sunday, a beauty coming your way. That means Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson. Kansas City goes to Baltimore. Chiefs pulled one out against Cleveland today. They had their hands full. Ravens open up their season in Vegas tomorrow night. And make sure you make your Sunday night 7 picks on the free-to-play NBC Sports Predictor app. $100,000 jackpot every contest. Rams take over from the 30-yard line. Henderson for a gain of 5. So you got Mahomes, did it again today. Kansas City looked like, they were going to go down to Cleveland. They were down early. And Lamar Jackson, who's always exciting to watch, get to see him tomorrow.
Yeah, I think that Lamar Jackson is somebody that is just different. He's just a different player. And will that offense long term be able to sustain itself? And I think it will, because he is a very underrated, in my opinion, pocket passer. He likes to play from the pocket and then create off of that.
Well, the Rams, who have been unable to run the ball with any effectiveness tonight, get a nice burst here from Henderson as he gains 8 to the 43-yard line.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what long-term this running game turns into. I'm so used to watching the Rams with that outside zone run and stretch plays and all those offensive line going in synchronized swimming kind of formations out there, bootlegs off of it. This has been a little different than that tonight. It really hasn't been that.
Rams now taking some time off the clock. Down to 8.5 left in the 4th. And Henderson across midfield to the 47-yard line. So it's been Henderson all night. They have Sony Michel, but we have not seen him at all. A little extracurricular stuff here.
Oh.
Flag just came in. So a little bit more than a little extracurricular stuff, because you got Brad Allen, who's going to assess somebody. Who might that be?
A lot of people were mad down there.
Yep.
Saw that.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct, taunting, number 44, defense. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down. This is number 44's first toward disqualification.
Well, that's Ogletree. The taunting's been a penalty, but now there's extra emphasis on it this year.
Brian Allen, David Edwards over here with the double team. You see that defensive tackle going backwards, and that's always a good sign. Now here comes, there was a little bit of both things going on. One player with hand in the face of Ogletree. He responds. He gets the foul. Who knows what was said? Eddie Jackson got mad at Ogletree, though. He went off on him.
Moves it to the 33, so they're already in field goal range. And now all of a sudden the Rams running game does come to life to the 29-yard line.
You know, Al, we talk so much about this Rams offense and all the different things that they do with those stretch and outside plays. But I think with Matthew Stafford and some of the play action stuff that he likes, maybe they go to more of those duo blocks, the double teams, and they play a little more power football, because if they could play that and the outside zone and the bootleg game, now you've got a complete offense for Matthew Stafford to work within.
2nd down and 5. You saw that note about what Stafford's done tonight. Not since 68. Henderson. That note, I think Fred did say John Stofa, Bengals in 68. That was the Bengals' first year. 2nd game in team history.
How about that?
There you go.
You know, all things come back to Cincinnati eventually.
They're undefeated.
I'm not sure you're ever coming back to Cincinnati, but
Chicago will host Cincinnati next week. Stafford avoids the sack, throws another deep pass, and that's incomplete. You got a flag down. Eddie Jackson covering Cooper Kupp. Flag back at the 33-yard line against LA.
Holding. Offense number 55. 10-yard penalty. Repeat the down.
Center Brian Allen. You saw Sean McVay. He's been coaching now 5 years, the head coach. He's still the youngest coach in the league by about 3 years.
You know,
35 years old.
It's amazing. It really is. And the best line I heard this week was when they were talking about Matthew Stafford. Sean McVay needed a partner, not a student. And he has a partner now. I mean, some of the debates, some of the ability, they each have this photographic memory. Matthew Stafford, Sean McVay can go play by play in games from 10 years ago, back and forth. And I think they have a lot of fun together. Like brothers, they kind of can argue and fight a little too.
Like I said, maybe at the top, a match made in heaven. We're going to find out. Here's Cooper Kupp. And Kupp still on his feet, breaking tackles, and he's going to get a first down. Cooper Kupp. Stafford loves it. Looked like they were setting up a shorter field goal. The next thing you know, they need 13 yards and he gets him 15.
Nobody would know that Cooper Kupp basically leads the league in yards after the catch. And yet tonight we've seen it play after play. He just sort of refuses to go down, George Kittle style almost. A lot of quick little moves. We saw the little spin move to get down close. And look at both of these guys. They get the ball in their hands and they just let them go.
Yeah. The yards after the catch. Looks great on the quarterback's resume too. Anderson. You know what? Flag down on this play too. And one thing with Stafford we should bring up before too long is what happened to him on the first day of padded practice this year. I mean, they get him, everybody's excited.
Holding. Offense 82. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Johnny Munt. So the first day of padded practice, he's throwing. He hits his thumb, which had surgery in the offseason, on a defensive lineman's helmet. He said it was unbelievable. He did a 180, ready to fall down. McVay is across the field and thinks he's heard a cannon go off. And these guys were ready to die at that point.
Yeah, he just thought he was going to pass out. But now at practice, the defensive linemen on the scout team all wear padded helmets. We're like, oh, that's a concussion thing, right? No. He goes, no, in case he hits his thumb on somebody's helmet again.
They look like big mushrooms. 1st and 20. Caught. Kupp again. To the 22-yard line. Eddie Jackson makes the tackle. Take it down to 5 minutes to go.
Kind of like a Joe Montana. He hits that back foot and out comes the ball. Just a perfect, easy little release. And I haven't really seen him work the middle of the field. I think they hit one little crossing route. But before this season is over, I thought the best thing he did in Detroit was really manipulate with his eyes those linebackers in the middle of the field and then zip some of those crossing routes right off the fingertips of those linebackers.
Sony Michel, the former Patriot, makes his Ram debut. So it takes until 55 minutes into the game before they bring in the man for whom they traded at the end of August. Michel, a one-time #1 draft pick 3 or 4 years ago by the Patriots.
And remember all that because Cam Akers tore that Achilles and he was supposed to be the guy. And you talked about Cam Akers and what he brought, and the Rams were just so upset when he got hurt. He said, because that's the one guy we had in this lineup that could take an 8-yard run and turn it into a 68-yard run. Stafford just looks so poised out there, doesn't he? Looks like he's in total control of this offense.
He always has him. He's just got the better cast around him. And 3rd down and 9. Now he's got a running game that's working as well, which hadn't all night until now. And Henderson takes it to the 5-yard line. So 1st down and goal. Clock ticking down. Rams trying to open with a win. They go to Indy next week. Chicago home against Cincinnati. 1st and goal. To the end zone and incomplete. Intended for Tyler Higbee. Talking about Cooper Kupp, he has 108 receiving yards tonight.
Yeah, sometimes the Bears will try a little stunt in there. This time it worked against them. They do that and left a lane in here to run the football on the prior play that was just all too easy for that Rams offensive line. But now they're starting to look like the Rams a little bit again. If they can, and the way Stafford can throw the ball and these guys can get open, if they can run the football like this as well, it's going to be a problem for teams.
Anderson pushing the pile to the 1-yard line. 3rd down and goal.
We go out sometimes.
Timeout, Chicago. We go out and right now we're going out to a commercial.
Goodbye.
You can't not watch. Watch for free, upgrade for more.
3rd down and goal now for the Rams. Chicago is down to 1 time. Now the Rams on this drive have converted a 3rd and 13 and a 3rd and 9. To keep it rolling, to keep the clock rolling. This drive has consumed 6.5 minutes. Sony Michel is the running back on a 3rd down and goal. Up in motion, looks toward Kupp, comes back the other way, and that is caught for the touchdown. Flag down for the moment. Robert Woods with a flag down. And barely staying in. Brad Allen, what say you?
Holding, defense number 44. The penalty is declined. The result of the play is a touchdown.
Penalty on Ogletree. The Stafford now 321 yards and his 3rd touchdown pass of the night.
Kupp's going to come across and then they're going to switch the coverage. You can see the little hand point there. It says, wait, I got this guy coming out here in the flat. You take number 2, Woods, and they couldn't quite take him. That was a heck of a catch. That looked like Dwight Clark going up for that one.
Ooh, left in, just barely. Got it. Michel was ducking out of Mac's way, but just impeded it enough for Stafford to step up in the pocket and hit his man as Gay comes in for the extra point. And the Rams go up by 20. Matthew Stafford, 20 of 26, 321, and here it was, touchdown number 3.
So Aaron Donald, he hasn't done anything, right? Double teamed there, get double teamed on that one, helping his teammates, but eventually you've got to block him one-on-one, and he is disrupting from within. He didn't end up with any sacks. The stat line is going to say, oh, Aaron Donald didn't do too much, but if you play against him, you know better than that. He was giving me a little demonstration of how he wins with his hands and the karate judo moves and all the different things that he does. It's pretty amazing. But what I love most is watching him do the footwork drills that guy does. He does it like a defensive back.
He's ready to step in and protect you. That's back here. You know, we were talking about that Stafford story with the thumb, and you know how he did a 180 and he thought the worst, and McVay was dying. And he went in for X-rays and he's praying. He said, "Doctor, don't tell me it's broken," and it wasn't. And then he felt it was very important, despite how, you know, it might have swelled up. He had to get back the next day and show the guys, hey, listen, I'm coming to practice. It's a full practice for me.
Yeah, I loved hearing the defensive guys talking about it. And when he would hit a big play down the field in practice, all the defensive guys would kind of high five on the sideline like, oh, good, we finally are going to get the offense going back again. But it really is quite a partnership, and you kind of get the feeling it's just getting started because of the recollection that those two guys have, Matthew Stafford and Sean McVay. You know, they can, the Rolodex of information that they can pass back and forth, and because Stafford has that same kind of memory, he can actually take it out to the field and take care of it at the line of scrimmage. No more of the stuff with Jared Goff. Remember his rookie year, 15 seconds. You know, let's call in a late signal and do all that. And they're just, now it's just up to Stafford.
Yeah, I mean, Goff got off to a great start when he became the starter and had, you know, took him to a Super Bowl a couple of years ago. But, you know, the bloom came off the rose a little bit. There's no question about that.
Well, the one thing the Rams say about that is you have to give Goff credit because he made our organization something that a Matthew Stafford would want to come play with us. And so we really appreciate what he helped us build here. And now they're hoping Stafford takes it to the next level. And if tonight's any indication, he already has.
So Leonard Floyd went to the sideline. They work on him. Second down and 10. And that's caught by Damian Williams, and he's out of bounds at 225.
I mean, you know what the conversation's going to be in Chicago now, right?
Of course.
I mean, we're going back to the quarterback situation. And I know how frustrating it is because it's entirely possible Chicago has that guy. Justin Fields might be that guy. And somehow they managed to trade up and get him. Andy Dalton had a really fine night. He had a tip ball, interception, whatever. But Justin Fields, you can see the magic. You saw the magic in the preseason. The ability to take a play and it doesn't look good and the receivers aren't open and he scrambles for 25 or 30 yards and 4.4 speed. It's all there. It's all there. That when you watch him interviewed, he's such a serious-minded guy. You know, he's the dynamic leader that you want. Andy Dalton on a one-year contract. He knows what's going on. He knows what's going to happen in the future. It's just a matter of when do the Bears feel like it is in the best interest of Justin Fields to let him go.
Again, Cincinnati next week. The Bears have a different kind of schedule this year. No two home games in a row, no two roads in a row. They alternate every week, home and road. Pass is incomplete here.
The one thing that the argument I'll make in favor of Justin Fields right now, when they do some of those read option plays, the best player I thought on this offense tonight was David Montgomery. So if you're going to build around David Montgomery in the running game, the idea that a Justin Fields, if he pulls that ball out and takes it out to the edge like he did on that touchdown, now the defense has to play and respect that, which opens more holes for David Montgomery inside.
And Dalton on the fourth down, and finally, Aaron Donald works his way onto the stat sheet. And the Rams get it on downs.
This little sort of jump chop move that he does, an arm over, he has 1,000 different hand moves, but eventually he lands on your quarterback. And I tell you, what makes him, he's not that big a guy, what makes him are his feet. He literally trains with defensive backs, wide receivers, and running backs, and he is so lightning quick. You think he's David Montgomery bouncing through a hole with what he can do, and you saw it there.
Three-time Defensive Player of the Year, turned 30 recently. And your mama, we got to wish her a happy birthday.
Oh, thank you very much for that. Yeah.
And Fred Godelli's mom, too.
No way, really?
Oh, yes, I just heard, of course.
How about that?
There you go.
My son-in-law, Patrick Hughes.
Well, what else?
It is the whole gang.
It's the entire gang. Anybody else? I feel like Willard Scott right now. 2-minute warning. The late Willard. stuff there is every opening day. How about what the Saints did to the Packers? They killed them, and Winston had 5 touchdown passes. Give you the rest of the news in a moment. On 2nd and 7 as the Rams now can run the clock out. Henderson going to go out of bounds with 1:53. Chandler Jones, how about that? 5 sacks on opening day, and the Cardinals rout the Titans in Nashville. And then poor old Cleveland, they had a 12-point lead at 2 junctures early in the game, and back came the Chiefs. And Cleveland now, since they came back into the NFL in '99, 1-21 and a tie in openers.
They're getting closer, though. Yes, they are getting closer.
So frustrating, though.
The good news for the Bears, they're still tied for first place in the North.
They are.
Not one winning team in there, but the bad news for the Rams, they're also tied for first place. Every single one of those teams won. So
right.
It has been an interesting day of football today, for sure.
Well, the NFC West generally regarded as the best of the divisions. Michelle, of course, will have the star of the game. Chris and I will take a look ahead to next Sunday night's beauty in Baltimore. Chiefs Ravens, that's coming up right after the game, which has 1:15 to go. So Chicago hung in early on. Looked like we might have a rout. Definitely made it a game. It was close at the half, and then the Rams were just too much. The defense got a running game going. Stafford, of course, 321 and 3 touchdowns. And the Rams will open up the season with a victory. And the Rams will have beaten the Bears now 3 times in the last 4 years.
They did. They outplayed them. There's no question about it. I thought the Bears had chances, though. They made big mistakes in this game. The 2 big plays they allowed, they didn't have to allow. They could have just touched them down on the back end. The broken coverage allowed the other bomb, and that was the difference.
So for the first time in a regular season game, SoFi Stadium with fans packed the house and open it up with a 20-point win, 34-14. Fields and company back to Chicago to face Cincinnati next week, and we'll see what happens. Coming up next, it's the Sunday Night Football post-game show. But first, these messages from your NBC station.